Well, all is not bad in the Astros world. We know the big club is struggling, but down in AAA Sugarland, we've got some players that are swinging a hot bat and pitching really well. We're going to talk about the top three hitters and the top three pitchers and who just won Player of the Week and Pitcher of the Week for the SugarLand Space Cowboys. Let's go.
Jainel Diaz, this is On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
Hey there and welcome into another edition of Locked On Astros. This is a special edition, a minor league edition for your Houston Astros. Remember, Locked On Astros is your team every day. Make sure you listen to us on Apple, Google, or Spotify on your way to work, on your way home from work. And if you could, give us a 5-star review on Apple. We would love that. And if to our listening audience, if you haven't checked out a live video or a show of ours, please go check it out. Also, we recently interviewed Ethan Pecco, who is with the Fayetteville Woodpeckers. An excellent interview. This 21-year-old pitcher is really doing well, and I think he has a high ceiling. So thank you for tuning in. Again, this episode is brought to you by Supply House. Supply House is the place you go for all your needs for plumbing, HVAC, and electrical jobs. You get fast shipping coast to coast at supplyhouse.com. You get your parts there really, really fast. So let's get into it. This week, this month, this season has been a tough season for Astros fans as we have seen the big clubs struggle in so many areas. I actually put out a tweet in form of a poll, which, polls on X aren't always super scientific. And I do know that every time I put a poll out, you get some blowback or you get some people saying, oh, this is a crazy poll. You didn't put this in there. And so I asked people to discuss. And I mentioned the whole, I don't know if you saw the Lopez, the reliever for the Mets, throwing his glove into the stands. And he said he didn't care what they did to him and they DFA'd him that night. While the Astros just tied. Actually, I think they went ahead and set a major league record for 7 straight games with scoring runs in only one inning. But my question was this: what do you think will turn this around? DFA Abreu, call up Joey and Pedro, who I don't even talk about today. Bregman hit 6th, or call Brantley into coach. Now, there's so many facets to this poll. You could add so many things, like what's wrong? Well, 8 of the 10 hitters aren't really hitting, so on and so forth. I mean, you have 3 really good outings from your starting pitchers and you're down 0-3, almost. You're basically on the verge of getting swept by the leading Seattle Mariners of the AL West. So with all that being said, let's talk about something positive. Let's talk about what's happening down on the farm, and let's talk about Mr. Best. I recall back when the Houston Astros signed Jesus Bastidas. He started in the Yankees organization, now is with the Astros. And I asked Kenny Van Dorn of Astros Future what he thought about the Bastidas signing. Was this a depth option? Was this guy going to be a future star? I mean, I didn't know anything about him. And Kenny said, look, it's kind of one of those things where you pick up the guy, the things you like about his game, and it's a low risk, high reward kind of thing. Well, Mr. Bastidas just won Player of the Week back on the week of May 13th to the 17th. They awarded it to him on the 20th. And so I took his stats for the last 15 days, and this is what's happened over the last 2 weeks when he's been in a Space Cowboys uniform. 49 at bats, 11 runs, 19 hits, 7 doubles, a triple, 4 home runs, 15 RBI, 7 walks, and 11 strikeouts. So with slash line of 388, 474, 816 with an OPS of 1290. That's right. This kid has been hitting the cover off the ball. Now you say, what position does he play? Well, I'll tell you about that after I show you some really cool highlights. Thank you to the SugarLand Space Cowboys for supplying these.
And the 1-2 pitch is driven high in the air to deep center field. Back goes Hilliard, and he won't get it. It is gone. A leadoff home run for Jesus Bastidas. That is his 8th of the season, and SugarLand immediately gets the jump. It's here in the 3rd inning, and Bastidas hits one to right. Going back is Bryant, checks the wall, he won't get it, it is gone. An opposite field home run. Jesus Bastidas, a 2-run shot. SugarLand has scored 3 runs in the inning and leads it 7-1. But he can run. First pitch. Hit in the air down the right field line. Going over is Bryant, won't get it. That ball is gone over the Gonstead Physical Medicine sign. A 2-run shot to right field for Bastidas. Second homer of the game for him, and it's 13-5 at SugarLand. First pitch from Danish is driven in the right center field gap. This one's slicing away from Hilliard. He won't get it. It one-hops the wall. That scores Berryhill. Here comes Amaya right behind him. Bastidas looking for a triple, and he makes it standing up. Jesus Bastidas, right-hander, is hit high in the air. Deep left field. Stovall's down the warning track. It's gone. He's done it again. Jesus Bastidas, a leadoff homer for the 2nd time this week. He's 5 for 5 with a chops it down the third base line. It's gloved by Bastidas, steps on third, throws to first for the double play. So he doesn't get the bunt down, then hits into the twin killing. Homer to start the game. Pulls one down the left field line. That's another hit, and that looks like another extra base hit. Bastidas takes the turn on his way to second, and indeed, he's got yet another extra base hit.
That's right, and that is Mr. Jesus Bastidas. This guy is really doing an admirable job. He's played 17 games at second base. He's played 7 games at third, and he's played 40 games at shortstop. What a bright spot on the SugarLand. The SugarLand Space Cowboys last year had a rough season. Anybody that they had that was, worth a darn, they kept getting moved up. They didn't really have much talent. There was talent shuffling its way up through the system. But this year, they're playing better. They're hitting well. I mean, I'm recording this the day before on this. I'm recording this on a Thursday. On Wednesday, they scored like 20 runs. I mean, it's insane the amount of offense that they're getting out of this. And of course, some people are like, well, can we just switch clubs? Can we send the Astros entire roster to AAA and bring up the AAA guys? I'm like, I don't think that'll work as good as you think it will. But let me tell you, I went and looked at the top 3 hitters in the last month for the SugarLand Space Cowboys. Now, you may not know all of them. Actually, one of them I've been talking about, Mr. Bastidas. Another one you know, and another one you may be a little bit of an unknown. Shea Whitcomb is leading in OPS with a 1.111, which is an interesting OPS. Very cool. Maybe he should play the lotto. 6 home runs in the last 30 days and 31 hits. 31 hits in 30 days. I know the Astros could use that right now. Then you have Cooper Hummel, catcher, with a 1.082 OPS over the last 30 days, also 6 homers and 24 hits. I mean, this kid is hitting the cover off the ball. I mean, and he's not the only guy. I'll give you some other names here in a second. And then Mr. Bastidas, he doesn't have an OPS over 1,000, but it's still respectable, 936 with 5 home runs and 31 hits. That's in the last 30 games. When you look at the last 30 games for the SugarLand Space Cowboys, you have Quincy Hamilton with 6 home runs, Pedro Leon with 6 home runs, Bastidas with 5, Luke Berryhill with 4. Trey Cabbage just hit a grand slam the other day. You have, let's see who our RBI leaders are the last 30 days. Pedro Leon with 23, Bastidas with 22, Whitcomb with 18. Now, when you let's look at OPS over the last 30 days. Quincy Hamilton is 5th. Look, Quincy Hamilton is a guy that if he doesn't break through at some point, it's only going to be because there's a log jam at the top. Pedro Leon, a respectable 861. Let's look at hits. Let's see other 3. Will Wagner with 24 hits, Pedro Leon with 22 hits. Let's see strikeouts. Where are we at with fewest strikeouts? Well, so Pedro Leon's still leading the team in strikeouts. He does have a 237, but he's got an OPS of 861 and a slugging of 516. So, his on-base percentage is 345, not bad. But there are some bright spots down here in AAA Sugarland. I mean, why not talk about AAA Sugarland, right? Get supplies from the site that's made for skilled tradesmen, supplyhouse.com. Supplyhouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining supplyhouse.com's free trade master program. Every trade master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from the free membership at supplyhouse.com/T-M and order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at supplyhouse.com. Now, with that being said, you can't just have hitting. You also have to have pitching. And that brings us to Mr. Blair Henley. Why do we talk about Mr. Blair Henley? You're like, I don't even know who Blair Henley is. That's okay. That's why we're here, to help you. Okay. We love the fact that the Space Cowboys have two players that have been awarded Player of the Week, respectfully, one pitcher, one a position player, in the month of May. So against the Round Rock Express on the 26th of May, he went 6 innings pitched. This is Blair Henley. No runs, 1 hit, narrowly missed the one, no-hitter, 2 walks. He is 2-3 with a 4.78 ERA, 43 in the third innings pitched and 36 Ks. Now, while the peripherals may not look great, Henley has really done a good job. Because when we look at strikeouts, the top strikeout leaders in the last 30 days, you have Colton Gordon, who is 2-0 with 22 strikeouts. So Colton Gordon could make a push for pitcher of the month if he continue his role. AJ Blueball, 21 strikeouts with a 1-1 record. Ryan Gusto with 20 strikeouts. Then Blair Henley, he is 1-2. He does have a rather inflated ERA, but he does have 19 strikeouts, a whip of 1.72, which is slightly above AJ Blueball. And then you have some other guys along the way. There is a guy down in Corpus Yola. I hope I'm saying that name right. He is killing it down there in Corpus. And maybe next time I do something like this, we will go in deeper into the farm and talk about AA and high A ball and all that stuff. But before we talk more about pitching and how important it is, and maybe who could get a call up this year if they need it, let's look at some highlights that the SugarLand Space Cowboys again sent us, so you can get to know Mr. Blair Henley.
Knapp leading off at first a little bit, and the 2-2. Grounded out to short, up with it, flip to second by Whitcomb on the first double play. 6 hitless shutout. Right-hander, here's his 2-2. Got him swinging out in front of a sweeper, darting away. Leon also shaded a little to left. The 1-2. Got him swinging on a sweeper. And sets and his 2-2 delivery. Got him swinging. There's a curveball for the first time today. The payoff, there goes the runner, and it's swung on and missed. Henley collects his first strikeout of the night as he Ks Huff to end a scoreless first.
FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. It's winner take all in the NBA and NHL, and FanDuel's giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Will the Dallas Mavericks complete their title run in the NBA? The Astros are listed still as the 6th most favorite team to win the World Series on FanDuel. Well, right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make every professional playoff shot count. That's right. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. That's right. And Henley goes out there. I mean, he looks really good. I mean, everything tells me that he plays that role. And I'm going to talk about Mr. Ullola here in a second. Miguel, Ullola. And I know I'm probably butchering that name, but I'm going to talk about him in a second. But we need guys down on the farm, guys like Blair Henley. And look, Colton Gordon, I think, is like, I thought that Colton Gordon had a shot at possibly leapfrogging Spencer Arrighetti, but Spencer Arrighetti wasn't hearing that. He wasn't having that. So you got Colton Gordon and AJ Blueball, who I think probably needs some more time. We also have Misael Tamarez, who I think has high upside, but he's really kind of wavered a little bit. He struggled. I mean, he's got an ERA right now of 10.34. I know ERA is not the go-to stat, but that's also not good at all. Look, we've got problems at the big club. They do not know what the heck is going on with Jose Urquidy. The update on him was they're getting a second opinion. I'm pretty sure that at the end of the day, they're going to announce that Jose Urquidy shut down for the year and going to have Tommy John or something. And that's terrible. But on the bright side, man, Lance McCullers, I hope he's not rushing it. This dude is throwing bullpen after bullpen. He's doing well. He looks good. They say Luis Garcia is going to start throwing bullpen soon. So you could see if Luis Garcia and Lance McCullers come in and help, that will be huge. But we also still have the problem of the lack of offense on this team. It is just very, very frustrating to see. So let's talk about Mr. Miguel. Okay. Miguel is a guy that I've had my eye on, and I'm going to put his name up on the screen because I don't, I know I'm going to get butchered for this, but so here is his name. Okay. Miguel Ullola. I think that's how you say it. So Miguel this year, he was moved up to, he was promoted to Corpus Christi, this year on April 2nd. He had 12 strikeouts on the 10th of May in a single game. And he's been having career nights all this year. He has just been doing really, really well. So he had an 8 strikeout performance. He had a 12 strikeout performance. And that 12 strikeout performance, he actually didn't win, but he only gave up 3 runs. The team didn't back him up with the offense. But he has 36 strikeouts in May. Okay. 25.2 innings pitched. He is 1-2. Ooh, with the crazy ERA, 6.66. Get thee behind me, Satan. 19 hits. He has given up 4 home runs. He has given up 19 earned runs, but he's got the 36 strikeouts, a 207 batting average against. So it looks like maybe he's getting into tough situations. I don't have advanced stats on him on his expected numbers, but this is a guy that, for all intents and purposes, 21 years old, a right-hander out of the Dominican Republic, out of Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, who could make some waves sooner rather than later. Over his career, he is 8-15 with a 4.74 ERA, 2 saves under his belt, 235.1 innings pitched, 340 strikeouts, a career whip of 142. So there is some work that could be done there. But Miguel Ullola is a guy that we also need to keep your eye on. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in to Locked On Astros. I mean, we absolutely love you guys. We love that you guys are here. And I'm going to wrap things up here in a second. So what do we do? What do we do? At the end of the day, what needs to happen at the highest level, the major leagues? Is it the front office? Is it the GM? Is it the coach? Is it the pitching coaches? Is it just the offensive players just not performing? Because the Houston Astros are experiencing one of their craziest years that I've ever seen by any professional team, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I posted some numbers earlier, and this is what's going on with the Astros. Okay. The Astros, and this was going into the last game that they played. Now they're down 0-3 to the Mariners. First in batting average. Again, I know batting average is kind of a mid stat. We're not hanging our hats on that, but just go with me. First in batting average, 261. First in strikeouts, the least amount of strikeouts, 368. They lead the American League. Actually, they may be first in the AL. I don't know if that's league-wide or AL. In the AL, they lead in on-base percentage, 326. They lead in OPS, 741. They're third in slugging at 415. So what's the problem? What is going on with this team? How do we have that offense? How do you have your three pitchers go out and pitch solid games and lose? I don't know that the answer is in SugarLand right now, but there are some guys in SugarLand turning heads and making moves. And I think there's going to be some shocking things that go down in the Houston Astros locker room before it's all said and done this year. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you could see the Astros go away from Joe Espada. Terry Francona's floating around out there. He's not currently managing. Could they pry him out of retirement? Would he be someone who could light a fire under this team? Was with the Red Sox, was with the Guardians, who used to be was with the Indians. Now they're the Guardians. I think he's really the only other option out there. Do you bring Brantley on as a hitting coach? Are there position coaches that are going to be let go? Like, I have no idea what's going to happen. But right now, the Astros are on pace to only win like 70 games. And that's not going to make the playoffs. Like Eric said on the podcast the other day, if you don't win this division, you're probably not going to get one of the wild card spots unless two teams in the AOS get really, really hot. And this is what's frustrating, is the Mariners have been up and down. They've been inconsistent, but we've made them look like world beaters. But I will say this, Chandler Rome called it on my other podcast, Back to the Bullpen with Mike Stanton. Mike sat down with Chandler Rome, and Chandler said, look, this is a series that is going to be low scoring, and you are going to have to avoid the mistakes, throwing the pitches over the plate that score runs for the other team, because if you're not scoring a lot of runs, but they're scoring a little bit more, then the Mariners could easily win this series. And right now, they pretty much have another series win under their belt versus the Houston Astros. But hey, for me, for Eric, for everybody here at Locked On Astros, thank y'all for stopping by. And we hope you enjoyed this little preview. And if you get a chance, go to SugarLand, go to Consolation Field, hang out, tell your kids to go to the right field down the first base line. The players sign autographs. They're great. They got the space dog. I can't even remember his name. Sorry. Anyways, they should have named him Maurice, because, some people call me a Space Cowboy. Some call me Maurice. Okay. Anyways, I digress, but seriously, go check out Consolation Field. It's a great environment. It's a clean ballpark. You can put chairs in the lawn in the right field. There's a playground in center field. If you meet anybody from SugarLand Space Cowboys, tell them that Locked On Astros sent you. So thank y'all for tuning in. This is a special edition, special Checking Out the Farm with H-Town Wellhouse. Y'all have a good one. And as always, marry me. Good. H.